DJs?
Yeah.
Is there like a code of keeping your tracks to yourself?
Sometimes, personally, I don't care. Like, look at all my tracks. Like,
I am a little sensitive on it.
I love hip hop sets too, though. You know, I just like the ones, any DJ that tries to show me music that I've never heard before.
It's very hard to find that with hip hop or R&B sets. We don't need any more R&B parties. No more R&B parties. There's too many. They're fun to go to. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's got to be another type of party, you know? Like, I'm tired of having 2000s R&B. It's like, all right, every other person creates one every week, and
you can make the coolest underground sounding record. The honest truth is that like it's not gonna get any plays. And at the end of the day, when you're a DJ, you become a business, right? And if you wanna take your business to the biggest level, you kind of have to adapt, right? Fun fact, you want to know, I just learned that it's a millennial thing to wear ankle socks now. And Gen Z has been eating or tearing millennials apart for wearing ankle socks.
Really?
So I guess you should be only wearing these kind of socks.
Ankle socks? Wait, aren't mine ankle socks?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, so you're saying I should be wearing these because it's millennial?
No, like the Gen Z people will make fun of you for wearing those. Like, it's so millennial.
Whatever, okay? Yeah, I see they've been wearing like the high socks with the loafers.
Yeah, and I was like, I always wear like those kind of ankle socks because like it looks good with shorts. I always felt this is weird, but I guess this is the movement here.
Well, you know what, Gen Z? You may have cool socks, but you know what you suck at? Parties, which is what we're going to talk about today. And I have a lot to say. I know Mick has something to say.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. Where should we start with this?
Well, you just got back from doing a little mix in our crib.
Yes, I did.
And it was quite open format, I feel.
Really?
You went from house to Jersey Club to hip hop, right?
I didn't play hip hop, did I? No, I didn't play hip hop.
I heard like a Doja song or something.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be open format.
Oh.
And you clearly haven't been to an open format party in a while. So
okay.
Well, the reason why
I haven't been actually.
The reason why I say that because I was trying to stick to like a more of an electronic theme throughout the whole thing.
Oh, it did have that.
I feel like I did have that.
Yeah.
But I feel like my irk is that what can I say about open format parties? I don't know. It's just I feel like I would like it if I was back in college and, you know, drinking again. But I feel like ever since I turned this whole new like level or whole new page where like I'm trying to not be as crazy, it's kind of like made me think about like open format and like the style of it, you know?
Yeah. And open format is like what you would typically see in any standard bar, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I think there's like a couple ways you go about open format. I think the one that I really hate is like when it's like, oh, your typical like R&B 2000s with like some modern day hip hop and then some like random TikTok song that's going crazy right now.
Yeah,
you know?
And then always playing like the Return of the Mac or
yeah, exactly. Like line dancing songs like almost like sometimes wedding.
So how would you define open format DJing?
Oh, how would I define it?
Because I thought the mix you just played was open format but it was electronic, you're right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess people could classify it that, but I feel like open format to me, or like at least what I don't like about it is just like, I feel like it's a people pleasing kind of genre.
Oh,
yeah.
That's triggering.
And yeah, it's triggering because like what I've said throughout this whole podcast is like, I'm very questionable about like how far I want to take DJing and how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Right. And like the thing that goes back to me is that sometimes when I play at a bar, it's like they want me to play something specific so that people will like it and they will drink more, you know?
But there's a thing to that too, right? Because it's like there's two different kinds of DJs. You know, it's the ones that always play at the bars and, you know, the bar expects them to sell drinks, right?
That's true.
And like to get them, I guess what helps that is like playing songs everyone's familiar with, right?
That's true.
But yeah, no, I hate open format DJing too. It's like the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's like also a pigeonhole too. you
Mm-hmm.
kind of like never, if you stay doing that
Mm-hmm.
bar scene, like you'll kind of never go up unless you do something else.
Yeah,
Are
I
there
agree.
examples of that, of DJs who've like
Who've
got
gone
out of
that
it?
far? Honestly, no. Like when I think of like DJs who are really famous, like one I think about is A-Track, but A-Track
Hmm.
has. I feel like he didn't do that. He made his own edits and remixes, and then
Yeah.
also I feel like he's just very tasteful in his music. Like yeah,
And
he'll
he's
play hip
skillful
hop.
too, because
Yeah.
he
Oh
like
yeah.
won like a Red Bull competition when he was like 13 or 12
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
something.
He has his
You
own
know?
like competition now. It's
Hmm.
I think it's called Fool's Gold, or that thing's his brand. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, yeah,
I know he's a judge on it. But
yeah. Fool's Gold is like his thing.
yeah.
Hmm.
But to your point, like open format DJs, like the biggest ones that I know are like probably the what do you call it? The celebrity DJs or like the radio
Oh,
DJs, you
oh,
know?
I got you. Well, radio DJs have to be
Yeah.
that way. I feel like,
They do, yeah. That is
Yeah,
their job. Like
yeah,
that like the radio station technically is their boss. So like they
yeah,
can't
yeah,
they don't have flexible about that,
yeah.
you know?
As an older guy who doesn't really go out as much,
Mhm.
open format DJing is kind of like, I'm kind of,
Yeah, how do you feel like? Because I know like you came out to see us DJ back at home,
yeah, yeah,
and some of those are open format DJs. Like,
yeah.
how do you
It's
feel that?
cool. It's like it's personally, it's not my
Mm-hmm.
favorite thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I see everyone enjoy it, and like I'm not gonna try to ruin everyone's fun and be
No,
like,
that's true.
this
That's true.
sucks, everyone. You should just turn it. I'm not gonna walk up to DJ Dex and be like, plug it out,
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
nothing like that. But I don't know. I just like I guess that's why I kind of fell in love with house music, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
house DJs are always kind of like wanting to play like stuff you've never heard, like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying this is just only house music. It's just the only ones I've like experienced in, because I
Yeah.
love house music, and that's actually the only shit I DJ is house
Yeah.
music,
That's true.
because I've never DJ'd a hip hop set, or probably
Mm-hmm.
know really how to, or even tried. Well, I have tried like
Yeah.
a couple times, but
Mm-hmm.
it's hard, and I give you guys credit for it.
Yeah.
But it's just not my thing. I'd rather just stay at one thing, this house music, and get really good at that,
Yeah.
and just be good at that. I'm cool with that,
No, I totally get that. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like that's where I'm coming in right now. If I do want to play in public, I only want to play like the electronic type of music.
Yeah, yeah,
If I like happen to mix in a hip hop song, I do it like really cleanly with it.
yeah, yeah.
Then like yeah, that's fine. But like I don't know, I'm really just gravitating towards just DJing electronic music. Like
No, I love hip hop sets too, though.
uh,
I just like the ones, any DJ that tries to show me music that I've never heard before. That's the
uh
main thing.
see that's the thing though. I feel like that's not. I don't really see that. It's very hard to find that with hip hop or R&B sets because most of the time I'm literally hearing the same thing.
Yeah.
Honest to God, we don't need any more R&B parties. No more R&B parties. There's too many. I feel like there's more popping up every day. And like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they're fun to go to. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I hate going to those or
Mm-hmm.
I've hated playing at those, but I'm just saying like there's got to be another type of party, you know? Like I'm tired of having 2000s R&B. It's like, all right, every other person creates one every week and I'm just like, we don't need it anymore, you know?
It's just in, and I guess there's probably so many of them because they're probably selling dumb tickets.
Yeah.
So like, oh,
That's
it's
true.
working. Let's not break it. Let's just keep going.
That's true.
You just gotta find your pocket, right?
Mhm.
I feel like I can complain all day too, and yada yada. But there are the kind of parties that you want to see, and I've seen
Mhm.
you go to like DJ sets that I would have loved to go
Yeah.
to and stuff, and
Mhm.
it's interesting. Like I don't know, but with house music, when that's how I got into DJing was through house, and I feel like with every good house DJ or my favorite house DJs, they always like approached it like I'm taking you on a journey.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
it's not banger after banger,
Mhm.
like playing every classic,
Mhm.
every house song everyone knows. It's kind of like they could play it, but they
Mhm.
like build up to it,
Mhm.
and it's like a journey
Mhm.
and a learning experience.
Yeah. No,
And
I
that sounds
100%
like such
agree.
a old guy thing, maybe,
Yeah.
because I feel like the college kids would hear me and they'd be like, "Bro, I'm just trying to get drunk and party,"
Yeah,
you know?
no, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
I see ever since I started like hanging out with you more, I
Mhm.
kind of blame you because I feel like I wouldn't have this opinion on all these parties if I didn't like wasn't influenced by your taste in music. And like it's like ever since I went to my first like kind of like experience into like that kind of like almost like underground or like group like house scene where like they DJ in a warehouse
Yeah.
was Martinez Brothers back in New York.
Oh, in the Navy shipyard thing.
Yeah. And like after that, I was like, oh my God, my mind has just been like opened up.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
I kind of get why. Cause I've been to one of those before. Like I think I've seen a set of like my first Coachella, and then I was like, like this is cool, but like it's like 30 minutes. I
Uh-huh.
kind of want to feel like euphoria, and I'm not really feeling that right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then after I went there, like this was like one of the first concerts we went to after COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So like I felt like I had like a whole newfound experience. And like I don't know. I kind of get your whole point about being on a journey, because that's what it is really. Like that's why
Yeah.
people can sit there and listen to it for 2-3 hours.
It's just because your taste evolved. You know what
Yeah.
it is? You know,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
I feel like everyone starts somewhere, whether it's like the coolest house music you ever heard, or it's like kind of like everyone starts with dubstep. It's like everyone hates on like what dubstep was and is, and it's like samey but it opened the doors for a lot of people to the other genres. Like people that love dubstep probably like was loving that for a year or two, and then discovered like underground house music, and
That's
was
true.
like, like you start with, someone could come in and, oh, I love Fisher, losing it, you know, and then 3 years later they figure out, they need more.
Yeah.
And then they start getting into the underground stuff.
Dude, you literally just said my journey.
Yeah. I remember that too.
Yeah.
Because I remember you're going to the festivals like, I'm gonna go see Zed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see David Guetta.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna
like that.
see Diplo.
And I know you saw my face, and I was like, yeah, great, dude. Awesome, enjoy. Yeah,
I know. I was like, yeah, he's totally not into that. He's totally hating right now.
Yeah. But I've gave Zed a chance. Like when we saw him at Coachella.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's like a one-time thing though.
Yeah.
Because like after that too, because even I don't think I was enjoying it as much as you.
Yeah.
Because like that was my second time seeing him within maybe like 2 years, and even then I was like, yeah, it's not the same anymore. Yeah, I'm slowly, as I like get into this whole like new taste of music.
Yeah,
I'm slowly unlearning the stuff that I used to like Lose the Child was like a big one that I saw. I saw them probably like 4 times.
I remember you'd always be like, I'm gonna see them again and again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I would say like the 3 times I saw them, I was like, yo, I love this. By the 4th time, I was like, okay, the song doesn't hit as much anymore. I think I'm definitely older and like I'm past it. But yeah, I was the same way. Like I used to watch Fisher, like Chris Lake, Chami, Malak.
There's nothing against them. Like they make great music. Like Fisher, Chris Lake, and who was it? Chami, right?
Chami, yeah.
They're amazing producers.
Yeah,
They're so
for sure.
good at what they make. It's just your tastes, they evolve. One year you like that, another year you like something else.
You know what's weird though? I feel like other than maybe EJ and Mark, and then Dante too. I can't find anyone who like, I'm trying to find that group that likes that kind of sound, and it's very hard, man. Like
it's interesting. It's almost like it's like musicians.
Yeah.
Like once you become a musician, like your mindset changes because you kind of know what it takes to make that music, or I don't know. It's and I feel like your friends aren't some people in your friend group. They don't dabble into their creativeness.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's that. I don't know.
That's true. I mean, like if it wasn't for all those trips to Joshua Tree, I probably wouldn't be as into it as much, because that's one of the formative things that made me like it. I was like, oh, I understand why. Like we're in the desert and we're just listening to this hours and hours, but I'm not tired of it. It's a journey, like you said, you know?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from sun up to sundown, that whole 4 hours that you were playing that house music, I was like, oh, I get it now. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, there are some days where like I really want to like just convince like some, like I just want more Asians in that scene, and like they're all just like still in that kind of like Fisher, Chris Lake kind of vibe.
Oh, I get it. What is it with Asians and EDM?
Oh, I've seen so many podcast episodes, but like it's like kind of going back to the whole like deprived of feelings and emotion from your childhood. Like that's why they gravitate towards like that Davin, or what's that guy with the guitar and the eagle symbol? Oh, I forgot his name.
Does he have long hair?
I think so. No, he wears a hat and he wears it backwards.
Yeah.
But he has like these jerseys. I forgot what it's called, but everyone knows what I'm talking about. His is like very emotional, like
Yeah.
You like put your hands in the air and stuff.
Oh, is it Ilium or what's the name?
Millennium, yeah,
Millennium. Yeah,
Millennium,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Millennium. Yeah, they definitely
Yeah.
gravitate towards that because that's like probably one of the most emotional kinds of EDM that
Yeah, I
you
could see
gravitate
that. And
toward.
he sells out, like, he just sold out one of the stadiums out here, I think,
Yeah,
too. Yeah, yeah,
he did.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's dope.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I mean,
cool.
like that's what I feel like. That's again, that's also mainstream. Like that kind of euphoric music is what people gets into.
Mm-hmm.
It's what people. That's how they get into electronic music at first.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's very broad and it's very easy to like. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, yeah. But even like the guys that, is like mainstream,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of them still know their stuff,
Oh
like
yeah.
when I did the song with Cascade,
Mm-hmm.
I had talked to him a few times while we were making the song, and like he knew the history and stuff, like he was even showing me like old school records and
Dude,
whatnot.
I remember the live stream that you did with him, and you guys were going back in your records. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
when he showed his, I was like, "Oh, I'm searching that up. That looks
Yeah,
good."
yeah. When I knew that he knew all the old stuff
Uh-huh.
and all that, I was like, oh, we should do a live stream and just show, because he
Uh-huh.
has a vinyl collection too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, let's just show like our favorite vinyl records and
Mhm.
stuff. And I thought that was like really fun.
No, that was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, you could really tell he had like really deep tastes.
Yeah, he does.
You know who else? And I always see he's probably one of the biggest like mainstream house artists right now. But
Mhm.
John Summit also did like kind of the same thing where he was
Yeah.
showing his vinyl records. I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, this guy does have some like good taste
Oh,
and some
yeah,
deep
yeah.
cuts. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, even his sets now, like he's
Yeah.
very mainstream, but like I feel like out of all the mainstream ones, he still fits into that like underground framework
Yeah.
kind of vibe, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's like a fine line, because you can make the coolest underground sounding record,
Mhm.
and usually a lot of those like don't have vocals and
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is that like it's not gonna get like put on Spotify.
Yeah,
It's not gonna get any plays. And
that's true.
at the end of the day, when you're a DJ, you become a business, right? And
Mhm.
if you wanna take your business to the biggest level,
Hmm.
you kind of have to adapt, right?
That's true. That's true.
So it's not, it's just, I don't know. It's
No,
interesting.
that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. I mean, if one day I just want to like, if I could convince like an Asian group to like why I like it,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
play
yeah.
them the song. I'd be like, all right, just listen to the beat. It's like,
Just listen
no,
to
you know
it.
how I like to describe it with
And
like
they're sitting there just like,
very minimal house music. How I
Yeah.
like people to like kind of get into it is like
Mhm.
you gotta think about it like meditation, right?
yeah,
You always have a home base,
yeah.
and the home base is always gonna be the four to the floor beat.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the snares come in, or you
Mhm.
notice that, but you still stick to your home base. Boom, boom. And then a melody comes in, and then you see all these things getting layered on, and that's how you get into it, you know? It's like, I don't know. I think that's where I fell in love with it,
Yeah.
is because like it's a very slow kind of burn.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I could also, contribute like meditation to me getting into it, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What I try to convince people to do, like I work with a lot of producers, and they see that I love house music, and they're like,
Mhm.
I just don't get it, man.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
it's so like repetitive and yada yada.
Mhm.
I'm like, and I kind of like suggest them like
Mhm.
some mixes here and there. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I'll suggest this Moody Man mix that he released as a compilation album that I have on vinyl.
Moody Man, very
And
famous.
it's not just house music.
Yeah.
It's like a mix of house and then also down tempo.
Yeah.
And I'm like just listen to that, and that's one thing. Or if it's just like a straight house mix,
Mhm.
I'd be like, okay, listen to this, but then don't sit down and listen to it. Sit down, listen to it while like you're doing your chores, while you're
Yeah.
while you're folding
Mhm.
clothes, doing laundry, washing dishes,
Mhm.
and just sweeping the floor.
That's honestly a really good way to do it, because like you could also start doing it by just like taking walks, or even like what I do is I listen to it while I'm watering the plants outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I'm going back to the scene though, right? Like let's
Mhm.
just comparing like normal parties, or even like well, no, let's do normal DJ parties, open format, and then to like the DJ house music scene.
Yeah.
Like what I like about the underground scene is like and we've talked about this before, it's like one of the parties where I feel like you can truly go there by yourself and not
Mhm.
feel awkward. Like
That is so true.
Yeah,
that
like-
is one thing about house events, bro.
yeah, with hip hop parties, right? I went to one by myself before because I kind of wanted to just check it out. It's like a
Yeah.
famous, like all these Asian DJs are there.
And then everyone's just like standing around in their bar table, just like,
Yeah. If you're by yourself, yeah, it was like pretty much like a Bay Area, like kind of like
Mhm.
hip hop party. But like I felt just so awkward because like I was trying not to
Yeah.
drink, but everyone was already like dancing. They're like, hey, in the
Yeah.
circle, backing it up. And like, don't get me wrong, like I still love that culture, but like. For me, trying to do it sober, I just feel super awkward. And if I don't know anyone, it's kind of hard for me to like enjoy it because I feel really outcasted. And I was exactly that guy who was like
Yeah.
just to the side, drinking, bobbing my
Mm-hmm.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting, and that's why I've always maybe that's why like I fell in love with house music so
Hmm.
much was because every club experience I went to was like that, bottle service,
Hmm.
hip hop, like, and then also moving to LA, it's the same deal. It's like everyone just wants to be looked at,
Yeah. Hmm.
and
Yeah.
everyone is like thinking about what everyone thinks how they look and
Exactly.
whatnot, and then
Yeah.
when I went to house parties,
Hmm.
I was like house music parties.
Hmm.
I was it was way different. No one
Yeah.
was paying attention to no one but just them and their little group or
Exactly. Exactly.
there's always that one old guy that at a rave or
Uh-huh.
at a house event and they're like
Uh-huh.
just dancing like no one's watching
No, yeah.
and it doesn't even matter.
That's my favorite part because like there'll be like I went to see Ash Lauren at
Yeah.
Los Globos
Hmm.
and
That
I
was
think Echo
the
Park.
Ronda parties, right?
Ronda party,
Yeah.
yeah. And there
Hmm.
was this guy, he definitely looked at least like 50.
Yeah.
But he had like a cool jacket and
Yeah.
then like some sneakers on. But like
Yeah.
I could see the way he was grooving. He had his chest pumping.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, this guy, he came here for the
Yeah.
music, you know?
I think a big thing with house music though, it kind of like evolved from gay culture, and
It
like
did. It
and
did,
then
yeah.
back then it was like, they were so suppressed.
Mhm.
So when they had these parties, they could just be free in who they are. So there was absolutely no judgments.
Yeah, I mean, isn't technically like okay, just reading like this little biography I read about
Hmm.
Frankie Knuckles.
Hmm.
Didn't like the DJ scene and house scene technically start with house music, like back in Chicago when Frankie Knuckles would take I think he said like the break parts of rock songs, like the break parts and the drums,
Yeah.
and then he would just loop that and kind of make music with that, right?
Yeah, like the house music started with like instruments that were originally released to be worked with bands,
Hmm.
like drum machines and
Right.
like the acid bass lines, which is from a 303, were
Mhm.
like failed machines that these instrument manufacturers put out,
Hmm.
and they failed because they originally thought like, oh, a drum machine will help support a drummer, and the 303 that does the acid bass line is supposed to be like a real bass player, but in a machine,
Hmm.
it didn't do it. So they were put in junkyards, and
Hmm.
these guys that want to make music, they got them for cheap and then just tried to make music with it. And it also stems from the death of disco because everyone hated disco so much.
Oh,
Yeah. And then they just kind
right.
of like flipped
Yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a revolution against disco.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, it wasn't a revolution against. It was like almost like an ode to disco.
Oh, an ode to
Yeah, because
disco.
disco was so popular, and then at one point, like everyone hated it. There was like this big event where I forgot it was like some
Oh,
baseball
in
field.
Chicago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember I saw that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then what the house DJs did, they took those disco records and sampled it and turned them into like house.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's sick.
yeah, it is cool. That's really dope.
That's sick, man. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's why I love.
Yeah.
And that's why I think open format DJing is people pleasing.
Yeah.
That's just like a very like hard take on it.
No, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think it still is. I mean, again, I don't want to sound like people pleasing. I feel like I'm giving such a bad taste to DJs who play in
I
bars
know.
because I don't want to do that because like it is like a skill to get a dance floor going.
And then also, go ahead.
Yeah, it is a skill to get a dance floor going and like also get like the people on the dance floor at the right time and then give them time to go get a drink to get the bar going. Like that is a skill that I haven't perfected. So like I'm not gonna discredit them. Like that's definitely skillful, you know.
And then the thing is, like a lot of those DJs, they depend money on that,
Yeah, exactly.
So they're gonna have to do it, or else they won't get the gig again, and they can't do it. And even like the biggest DJs I've worked with and stuff, they play like whatever they want. They still play gigs they don't want to play.
Yeah,
it still happens because it's just business.
Yeah, you gotta pay the check at the end of the day. Yeah,
you gotta people please at some bit.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Do you think if this is kind of random, but do you think all DJs can dance? Do you think you can?
I could dance?
Yeah, you can dance. You have rhythm.
I don't know about you, but I think we all know that I have a great Dougie.
No, okay, besides the Dougie, okay, well, let's not even go there. I did notice that when you dance to house music, you have the rhythm. I remember, I think you were explaining to Mars one time, but you were explaining her how to dance, and then you were telling her this. And I'm like, you remember this move at all?
Oh yeah, I remember I used to do that all the time.
This is the perfect
I'm actually trying to stop to do that.
No, why?
Because like everyone does it.
Okay.
Every DJ does it. Every house DJ I'd be watching like their hand, but I just can't help it, dude.
No, it's honestly just let it take you. Just let it take you. It's fine. It's fine. Do both. But one, like we already talked about him, but John Summit,
Uh-huh.
he's a great DJ. I love his music, but oh my god, he's probably the one of the house DJs that cannot dance.
Like, how does he dance?
Like, all right, give me like a simple like beat.
Okay.
This is him.
Dum, 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 dum,
He misses
dum.
it. He's
Really?
just like off on one. I'm like, dude, like I kind of just want to hold his shoulders. I'm like, dude, and then sometimes he'll go like this. Yeah,
But it's not on
deep in.
beat.
Yeah, it's not on beat,
Oh
man.
my god.
Like it makes me cringe. I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But how about Mochak? He's like a good. He's like he's interpretive dancing.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
mean, have you seen his famous video where he goes?
Oh yeah,
he
that's like
punches the air?
his bread and butter. You know.
Yeah. No, he's good.
Because of him, I
Actually,
feel like more DJs are trying to emphasize that more now.
I mean, that's how he got big, so it makes sense.
Mhm. But he's also a great DJ. at the
No,
same
yeah,
time.
when we saw him
Yeah.
that one time when he did it with what was it?
Yeah, and,
Martinez Brothers and Chloe, right?
Yeah, and Chloe,
Chloe Carlette.
yeah.
Yeah, he killed that set.
Yeah.
And recently he put up a video with, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong. It's either Cersei or Circle.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's like French, so what's
Yeah.
the French way of saying it?
But he did a set with I think Howard on Disclosure, and
Uh-huh.
it's probably one of my favorite sets from that YouTube page.
It was Howard or was it Guy?
Oh no, sorry, it was Guy.
Okay,
It was Guy,
because I was
yeah.
like, Guy's like more the DJ of
No,
the two.
yeah, it was Guy. It was Guy.
Yeah.
But it was, I mean, they were doing like house tracks, and then I feel like it was like really old garage tracks too.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
But he was killing it though.
Disclosure knows their shit too.
Oh,
That's for
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like their first project was like based off like their inspirations from underground dance music.
House.
You know.
Yeah, what was that project called? I remember you were telling me and EJ about it.
Yeah, and I remember I was trying to like find it, and I just
Actually, you know what?
It's
Don't-
It's like their first project.
Don't tell
it.
it. Let's gatekeep that, or just give it to me so no one else has it.
That's true. Yeah, because like the people that only know them for their biggest songs,
Yeah.
wouldn't know. Yeah,
That's true.
yeah, but it's cool.
When you were house DJing, did you? I mean, is there? I feel like with open format, there's not maybe so much of a code, but with house DJs,
Yeah.
is there like a code of like kind of like keeping your tracks to yourselves or like not like spreading it around?
Sometimes it
Yeah.
depends. Like if I don't know, it was like a in or out. Like when I was doing like festivals here and there,
Mhm.
like a lot of them were cool. Like 80% of them were cool.
Mhm.
But sometimes, yeah, like and then even bigger DJs would suggest to me because I would always like how I started DJing was because I was producing for like bigger DJs, right?
Mhm.
And then I wanted to start as well, so they would give me tips. And then when they pull up their USB, sometimes it would just be like exclamation mark, like you couldn't tell what the song was. Like it was not readable text.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What is this song?" I was like, "Oh, I bounced it that way, so like when it's on the CDJ, like people can't see the track."
Oh.
And like I kind of get it because you
Yeah.
don't want to give away your sauce because that's what makes your journey so great. Is like
Yeah.
these little bits, and if like someone's just come up and take it, then
Yeah.
but I personally I don't care. Like look at all my tracks.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't care.
I think
you know,
there's
but-
like there's a thing to it. I mean, other than like kind of like keeping your like secret juice hidden.
yeah.
I feel like some DJs may just are always like public about it because there's also this thing too, like let's say the current DJ who's like getting music off of SoundCloud and getting all those edits. Like
Yeah.
they're probably just doing a favor of the person who produced that so they could share it.
Yeah.
Which I see that, but I don't know. I feel like I am a little sensitive on it.
yeah.
I don't know. I still get songs from other famous DJs.
Mhm.
What I try to do is when I'm at a set or I'm listening to a set, max 2 songs. That's the only max 2 I could take.
Oh, you take?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm obviously if it's a good set, I'm like, oh, I want everything. You know,
Honestly, if there's a song I love from a DJ set, I will do what it takes to find out what that song is.
exactly.
You know? And a lot of them are not Shazamable.
Yeah.
And but you know, I'll try. You know, I'll
Mhm.
even ask my DJ friends. I'll record the clip and be like, hey, what's this ID?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what
I
I
want
do
it.
too. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm at a
Yeah.
show and it doesn't work on Shazam,
Yeah.
I'll just record it and then
Yeah.
hopefully use that screen record to
Yeah.
find it somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really care. Like if I would not hide my IDs on my go that far on my USB to hide it. Like
Yeah.
if you want it, take it, dude. Like I don't really care. But I feel like what could separate me is like I do edits and remixes
Yeah.
that I don't release, that I only play in, like for example,
Yeah.
like that one thing I did with Mason Collective on the boat.
Yeah.
It was like a Drake remix, right?
Yeah.
And then like all the guys were like coming up like, oh, what is that? Oh, it's a remix. Like, is it out? It's like, no, it's just
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's smart though.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I feel like I need to get into producing or at least doing edits. So at least I have that
Yeah,
change, you know?
I gave you the key,
I
bro. I
know,
have an
dude.
extra Ableton license,
Oh,
and
I've been busy with the podcast, so,
yeah,
but
you have, you
I
have,
am trying. It's still on
yeah,
my list to at least get at least one edit out before the end of the
yeah,
year. So
yeah.
we'll see.
And I can supply you with the best loops, dude. I can make it so easy for you. It's like,
That's true.
hey, you want minimal house stuff? All right, here's a bunch of minimal house loops. Like, boom. Oh, you
Okay.
want deep house? You want deep tech? Like, I have all the
Uh,
samples, dude.
are you still looking for music today, or I mean, you don't DJ as much, but
Um, I I I feel like I only look for music when I go to the vinyl shops and explore because I feel like that's where I can really
oh
find it.
yeah.
But what's interesting is what I do too is YouTube. YouTube is like great for underground house
Oh
music. Yeah,
really?
because a lot of
Interesting.
the underground, and that's why I love vinyl shops too, is
Mhm,
because like a lot of these vinyls I have, like
mhm.
you try to Shazam it, you probably won't find it,
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
Um, and you can only find those kind of records like in a vinyl store, in a record
Oh,
shop, you know.
yeah. I wanted to start getting into that because I know EJ has been doing it,
But
but
it's a
yeah,
deep rabbit hole. Like
yeah, I know, and
also like collecting vinyls also like an excuse for being a hoarder. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
that's
that's why
true.
I only have 2 crates because I'm like I stop once I was like I'm gonna have 2 crates and that's it. You
That's
know,
it. Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's too much. Like all those people that have like walls of records, I guarantee they don't know they're not listening to every single record.
Yeah,
They're just there as like
I could see how that could
it's
fill
a
up.
collector's thing, I feel like,
Yeah,
you know, and I know
that's
the
true.
record shop owners are gonna hate me for that, but that's just how I
Uh,
feel, you know.
damn.
I just know me personally, if I had a wall,
Uh-huh.
like 12 by 12 foot wall of records, like there's no
Mhm.
way I'm gonna know every single one of those records and be able to
That's
and
fair.
play all of them, you
That's
know.
fair. I
It's
mean, yeah.
crazy.
I mean, going back to YouTube and how you use that to find
Oh yeah. So
underground
like let's
tracks.
say I try to find I just start with like one of
Uh-huh.
my vinyls, like
Uh-huh.
and then I YouTube that and sometimes it'll be there, you know? It'll be
Oh.
really absolute shit quality.
Ah.
But then I use like the suggested from there and show me other
Oh,
stuff.
you know what recent record I just got that's like in that same situation where it's only on YouTube?
Hmm.
The Just Friends by what's their name? Masters of
Masters at Work.
Masters at
Yeah,
Work. Their
yeah,
remix of Just Friends.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
one's only on YouTube and I had to rip that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And a lot of the old house DJ albums, like they're not on Spotify, and but they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they'll have it like for where it's like a hour 30 long, where it's the whole thing in the thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
See how I find music now because I'm starting to get back into electronic mode and like not
Hmm.
really downloading like hip hop anymore.
Yeah.
Um, one of my favorite algorithms out of all the platforms to
Hmm.
find new music is actually still SoundCloud. I think
Really?
it has the best because like once I like a movie, oh, not a movie. Once
Yeah.
I like a song, it'll take like maybe 2 days, but then I'll make a playlist. But I think it has the most accurate to that song. Like I feel like with some other ones, like with Spotify, it'll just give me like artists that other people listen to.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I think there's something about the algorithm where it actually like digests the song
Yeah.
and tries to find like maybe like the same melody or same beat pattern.
Mm.
And more often than not, I always use that. Like even if I find a song first on Spotify, I'll put it in SoundCloud first and I'll have the algorithm run, and like that's how I've been able to find really similar tracks to ones that I really like.
Oh. Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Especially when I'm trying out a new genre in electronic, like anything like trappy or like a dubstep or a techno.
Yeah.
Like I find one track and I just put it in SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah, that's interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like, another good way to find like other underground house music is like if there's one underground song you like,
Hmm.
just look up the label it's on and then just research the label and see like past releases. It's a good way too,
Oh,
you know?
I'm trying to think of really because I've been going back into like the house music. I'm trying to think of labels I've been seeing commonly lately. Is Framework a label or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Framework,
Yeah.
Framework.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else, but
There's also like Defected, and then you have
oh,
artists.
Defected,
They also
yeah,
have like artist labels too, where it's
yeah.
like Martinez Brothers Cutting Heads,
Oh,
and then you
right. I
have
forgot
like
that's the
Leash
label.
Foss's I'm forgetting it now.
Okay.
But yeah, yeah. And there's also the classic ones too, like Nervous Records, New York.
Okay.
They held like a lot of old classic records and they still release stuff today.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of great labels out there. And that's a good way, is like to discover, go down. you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's another thing that I love about DJing too. Is just,
Yeah.
especially with house music, the rabbit hole that you go down, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that
yeah.
rabbit hole. You know,
Yeah.
always go
If
love
you
that.
really want the old school ones, like Trax records with the X.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, TRAX.
oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen that
yeah.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, if you just look through there, like Strictly Rhythm too,
Mhm.
and then yeah, there's a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, hopefully after this video, people will, at least the Filipinos or the Asians, will start going to the cool house parties. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll see.
All right. Till next time.
Peace out.
Peace.